Hello everybody, welcome to my 10th devlog. It's been a little bit of a while since my last log. I just wanted to make sure this one was a little bit special for my 10th video. There's a special little announcement I'm going to make near the end of the video, so stay tuned. So one of the first things I want to talk about is a new enemy. So this one shows up in the forest area, and it's going to force you to use the arm cannon. So this enemy has a ton of wings, but it also kind of resembles a flower the way it curls up and shields itself with its petals or wings. So this enemy is my first long-ranged enemy, I guess, that I introduce. It maintains a distance from you, and once you get too close, it'll go into a guarded mode where you have to either rush into it and punch it and break its shield, or shoot it with an arm cannon, which also breaks its shield. Either way, you have to use the arm cannon. And I really like the design of this one. I think I've really nailed the biblically accurate inspired aesthetic with this one. And any other angel enemies I make, I think I'm gonna follow this aesthetic. I like this a lot. I love the eyes on the wings and stuff. The only thing I think I could do to improve is maybe animate them, but I can do that later. I do have a boss in mind for the forest area, which I think is gonna be a little bit similar, where it has these petal-like wings that it used to guard itself, but it's gonna be a lot bigger in scale and be more plant-like. I have a pretty good idea for it. I also made quite a few changes to the forest area. The forest is the last area that I'm going to feature in my demo that I'm planning to release at some point this year, hopefully in the summer. And I added a chapel area that's kind of in the lower section of the forest. I expanded the cave area a little bit, and I just really fleshed out the lower area of the forest especially, and thought out the progression routes and how you go for it. At the end, there's a kind of hedge mage that you have to navigate through, and there's enemies, there's some tougher enemies if you go the wrong route. And at the end of the maze is where I'm planning to have the boss. This boss is going to be kind of plant-like and water-focused, so you're going to have to use the arm cannon to rush over the water and punch it when it's vulnerable. And I think really the boss is the last major feature that I need to get before I release the demo. I need to polish up some story stuff like NPCs, but after that, I think it's just bug fixing and then releasing demo. So I gave a bunch of my enemies and some of my characters a makeover. I took some of them into Substance Painter. I also optimized them by minimizing the amount of skin mesh renderers I had on them. I took them into Substance Painter and gave them a fresh texture, and I think they're a lot more defined now. They're a lot nicer to look at now, and they fit into the environment because they're just a lot more detailed. The Crusaders look a lot better now, I think. They look a lot more detailed, and you can see the different kinds of fabric and metal on their armor. I gave my Athena enemies, I'm just calling them, the Spear Angel enemies, a makeover. I also gave my character Robin a makeover in Substance Painter. I noticed later that I may have channeled my love of Berserk into this design a little bit. He looks a little bit like the Berserker armor, but I'm not complaining about that. But I mean, I guess if Dark Souls can rip off Berserk, so can I. I redid some animations for the intro cutscene. I also made sure to incorporate me introducing Chippy to you. So Robin will come into the prison, he will have Chippy behind him, and once he breaks you out of prison, he will introduce Chippy to you and ask him kindly if he can guide you on your journey. So that's how you meet Chippy. Some of the animations, especially for Robin, were kind of awkward, and I tried to polish those up as much as I could. There's still some room for improvement, but I think it's good enough for the demo. I added a parry ability to the arm cannon, and this one is unique because it's the first one that actually has a different utility. Previously, the other weapons, when you parry them, all it does is just charge up your weapon and just make a stronger attack. This one is special because it actually makes you shoot an explosive bullet which deals splash damage, and it feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how I got it. I eventually want to do this for some more of my weapons. Like, I have an idea for the revolver where I want to have you unload the whole cylinder when you parry and get a charge shot off it. And I want to keep doing stuff like this because I think it's fun and it rewards a player for playing good by parrying. I know some of my friends just don't, they just refuse to parry, and it makes me upset. So I hope that by adding cool stuff that you need to do by parrying, they parry more. I've also been fixing up a ton of pesky little bugs and issues that have been plaguing me for months. I think the game is a lot more stable, probably the most stable it's been in a long time. So I'm pretty happy about that too, because I want to get rid of all these annoying little bugs before the demo. I also think that I made some of the movement just feel a lot better. The kind of boost of air you got when you punched the wall with the arm cannon previously was pretty minor, and you really needed to time it correctly with when you jumped. I decided to just scrap that and just make it behave as a jump in itself. So basically, if you're falling downward, if you punch a wall, you will get height no matter what. You'll get a boost of air. It'll clamp your velocity so that no matter what, you get a jump off of that wall punch. Water running also feels a lot better. When you're running down a waterfall that's going down or up or really anywhere except perfectly horizontal, it now just tracks you a lot better and is a lot easier to maneuver. And this is very important when going from the city to the forest, because that's actually how you get into the forest. You go down a waterfall that's going downward. I've been experimenting with some level design stuff to take advantage of the movement as much as possible. There's a few areas where you have to combine the wall punch with the shotgun jump to get some air. There's like a little like a workshop area in the forest where you need to do it, and the chapel you need to do it as well, where you need to lunge onto this plank that's hooked onto a roof, and then that's how you get onto the top of the chapel. I think I'm going to put a secret up here. And I want to keep rewarding players who explore and take advantage of the movement as much as possible. I think by dangling rewards like secrets in front of the player, it'll encourage players to master these movement mechanics and have the most amount of fun. So I've been trying to get this game in a polished enough state to where I can have a big playtest with it. Well, one of my friends who is going to playtest it has helped me and my game dev buddies playtest some other games, and he is absolutely amazing at finding bugs. He will break the games in ways I didn't even imagine. His name is Joe, and I have devised a list of things that I need to complete before the Joe test. I think I've gotten most of the critical things out of the way. I probably don't need to worry about like much of the story, because I can always add that later. But once I finish the Joe test, that's gonna enlighten me on probably so many bugs that I need to fix before I release the demo. I've been using Obsidian a lot lately, which if you haven't used Obsidian, I really encourage you. It's amazing. I just found out about it. It's like this really cool note-taking software that keeps track of your data in nodes, and I've been using it for world building stuff and game design stuff. I really don't know how I didn't know about it sooner, but it's amazing. I really recommend it. I promise that wasn't an advertisement. I just want to recommend it. So if you're still watching, thank you very much. And I would like to announce that I am planning on making a Steam page in the next coming months. So at some point I will show off a little trailer, a gameplay trailer, and have a link to my Steam page. And I'm also going to make stuff like a Discord page, which I can hopefully talk to all of you in, and show off what I'm working in, and get more pointers and have people test the game, and just communicate with all of you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you're excited for my game. And as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.